A major tech shakeup is underway. For hundreds of years, governments have kept tight control of our cash, but soon their money monopoly could grind to a halt. This is a fast-moving story, and not all the facts are in. But here's what we know for certain. Tech billionaire Mark Zuckerberg is plotting a move so big it's hard to believe. The New York Times reports Facebook plans global financial system based on cryptocurrency. Let me say that again. Mark Zuckerberg is planning to launch a new technology, a separate, competing financial system. And he's not alone. As you'll soon see, Amazon could be close on his heels. Google has made a major move partnering with Coinbase to integrate cryptocurrencies into its Google Wallet. And Apple may be getting in on the act too. If all goes as planned, it will trigger a massive change to money as we know it and forever alter how we spend, how we save, and invest practically overnight. You've probably heard how digital currencies have gone from what some called magic internet money to the center of attention. But most people have no idea what will happen next. In response, Fidelity has rolled out a whole new division to help its wealthy clients prepare. Citigroup just launched a digital assets group to offer its clients immediate access. And Goldman Sachs admits it will redefine the way we transact. And if that sounds incredibly far-reaching, that's because it is. Now, there's a reason why this is happening, which very few understand. Again, it's all thanks to a new financial technology I'll share with you in a moment. For decades, every dollar bill and every dime has been minted and printed totally controlled by the feds. But today, radical changes are on the horizon, changes that could tilt the balance of power away from Washington and kick off a new wave of financial innovation unlike anything we've seen before. And for investors, it adds up to a chance to generate immeasurable wealth. More on that in just a moment. But first, I'm sure you're wondering who I am and why I'd make such a claim. My name is Jeff Brown, and in the past few years, I've been invited to Washington, D.C., where I play an active role in the Chamber of Digital Commerce. It's the world's top trade association for digital assets, which includes new currencies like Facebook's Diem. And its members include executives and insiders from dozens of top tech firms, from Accenture to Microsoft and BitPay to Visa. And prior to that, I spent 26 years working with some of the most advanced technologies in the world. As an executive at NXP Semiconductors, my team helped develop the tech behind the first self-driving cars, while NXP's stock grew as much as 761%. And during my time at Qualcomm, its stock more than doubled. Now, since leaving the corporate world, I've taken stakes in dozens of tiny firms which have grown significantly, including JumpCloud, which is up 10x, Intabio has grown 17x, Ripple Labs is up 40 times, Coinbase is up 43 times. All told, I've made over 200 early-stage investments, and they've helped me to live a life most people can only imagine. And today, I have the good fortune to live in the richest community in America. Recently, I took 2 postgraduate courses on quantum computing at MIT, and I've attended private meetings along with some of the top lawmakers in the United States. We typically gather in the Congressional Auditorium, which sits beneath Capitol Hill. It's a highly secured space, often used for national security briefings. That's me in the second row. I have also met with members of the Senate Financial Services Committee, and I've been able to play a role in a number of private discussions all about the future of money, which brings me back to the story I have to share with you today. Plenty of folks in Washington see digital currencies as a threat. Not someday, not years from now. The Federal Reserve claims they could become systemically important overnight. And European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde warns they could threaten monetary sovereignty around the world, which in plain English means major governments could soon lose control of money. Now, given these facts, you might guess there's going to be a clampdown to stop competing currencies from taking flight. But it is too late. Former Senate Banking Committee leader Patrick McHenry admits there is no capacity to kill digital currencies. But as I'll show you, that is a good thing. The money we all grew up with is on the verge of massive change, and a new cryptocurrency is set to take on a critical role. Not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, but soon, reports Harvard Business Review, we won't be wondering if this new crypto will catch on, but whether we're going to miss seeing George Washington's face. Cash, as we know it, is set to disappear forever. And if you understand what's happening, you could set yourself up to make massive gains in the months ahead. As we speak, a new competing financial system is taking root, and the technology behind it will change the world in ways that we can't imagine. That said, I'm sure you're wondering, how could a private company, even one the size of Facebook, take on the world's top banks and governments and win? Now, if you asked me if this was possible 5 years ago, I would have said not a chance. And yet, that's precisely what is happening. A few top tech firms are poised to launch new digital currencies which could reshape the financial system overnight. Meanwhile, as CNBC reports, a global race has kicked off among central banks to figure out their own digital money strategy before it's too late. Get ready. We are about to see an epic showdown between big tech and big government, but no matter who wins, investors could make a fortune. To understand why this is such a big deal, we need to look back at the roots of America. The United States was founded on a crazy idea, the separation of church and state. Now, for thousands of years, government and religion were basically one and the same. Kings and dictators would tell you who or what to worship. There was barely any religious freedom, and disobeying orders could get you persecuted or even executed, which is where we got the expression, heads will roll. This reign of terror finally came to a halt with the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, which says, plain as day, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Those 16 words caused millions of people to flee Europe for America. We were the first of any major power to recognize a simple truth. Whether you choose to worship a god or no god is none of the government's business. Which brings us back to the present. We are living through a similar moment in history, one just as powerful as the separation of church and state. For the first time ever, we're about to see the separation of money and state, not just in America or Europe, but perhaps on every major continent simultaneously. This year, a new kind of cash is coming to town, and mark my words, I think you'll be shocked when you see what this could mean for your savings and investments in the weeks ahead. And when you see how much money is at stake, chances are you're going to do something like I've done. Place a calculated trade, break out the popcorn, and sit back and enjoy the show. Now, we don't need a PhD to get why this is a huge development. Just take a look at this chart. It tells a simple story. As you can see, the title of world's top currency has shifted from one country to another over a period of hundreds of years. From the days of the seafaring Portuguese and the Spanish empires through more recent history when the center of the financial world shifted to France, then Great Britain, and finally the USA. Whoever controls the world's top currency holds a key advantage: the ability to print or borrow money in massive quantities. In 1720, it was the French under Louis XIV. In 1815, it shifted to Great Britain and the pound sterling. And since 1944, the world's top currency has been the US dollar. But history shows its reign may not last much longer. In fact, my research indicates this year the dollar's role as top currency will face a new challenge unlike any we've seen before. For years, a debate has been raging. Some, like Congressman Ron Paul, have called for a new gold standard. The Economist magazine has predicted a one world currency, while others have claimed Bitcoin will rule supreme. So far, none of these predictions have come true, and little has changed about the way we get paid, the way we save for retirement, or spend our money. But today, we are closer to a tipping point than at any time in history. Behind the scenes, a battle is raging between old world banks, the government, and a new financial cartel led by the top tech minds on the planet. You know their names: Cook, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Page, and Brin. And you know their businesses: Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google. But most folks have no idea what they're really up to. Each of these firms is on the brink of launching their own private currency, something called a stablecoin. In other words, a form of money not issued by any government. If you've never heard of stablecoins, they're very simple to understand. A stablecoin is a digital asset that's tied to something else, like an existing currency or to the price of gold. And they have many of the same advantages of a cryptocurrency in terms of privacy and speed and ease of use. Most importantly, they cut out the middleman. You've probably noticed how your bank seems to think it owns your money. For years, they've charged huge fees, they've tangled small businesses up in red tape, and paid us minuscule, insultingly low rates of interest on our savings. And that's what makes stablecoins so exciting. Unlike most cryptocurrencies, stablecoins are designed to go nowhere, to remain stable, so to speak. They're designed to give you full command of your money, and in some cases, you can use them to earn a hefty rate of interest, up to 200 times more than you can earn from a traditional savings account. And because you don't need a bank account to access this new money, that means it's instantly available to anyone in the world with an internet connection. That's a potential game changer for the 1.7 billion people worldwide who lack access to traditional banks. As I mentioned, one of the first movers in this space is Facebook. It's lined up an incredible roster of supporting partners ranging from Andreessen Horowitz and Coinbase to Spotify and Uber. They even got the former president of PayPal, David Marcus, on their board, who says it feels like it is time for a better system. This is something that could be a profound change for the entire world. And events are moving so fast, governments from Paris to Washington, D.C. are scrambling to adapt. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell was one of the first to react, saying this type of new currency raises many serious concerns, including potential risks to the stability of the financial system. The International Monetary Fund's chief economist, Geeta Gopinath, also warned it's important for regulatory agencies to pay close attention to these developments. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen admits, I frankly don't think we have a framework in the United States that is quite up to the task. It's no wonder they're taking notice, because unlike Bitcoin or even gold and silver, which pose no immediate threat, these new currencies are controlled by some of the most powerful names in the tech world, with millions and in some cases billions of members and customers. With the flip of a switch, any one of them could serve as a new global currency right alongside the US dollar. What do you think will happen when up to 2.8 billion people now have access to a safe and stable currency that's not the US dollar? Well, those caught unaware are going to be in for a rude awakening. But if you know how to profit from this shift, you'll have nothing to fear and everything to gain. The political stakes are high as well, and for good reason. The tech billionaire who controls this new form of money could soon become the most powerful man on the planet, more influential than any central bank official, more powerful than President Biden or Xi Jinping or Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. Believe me, I don't make this prediction lightly. I'm simply presenting the facts. Now, you might disagree with my findings, but please consider, as far back as 2014, Forbes warned Apple has twice as much cash as the US government. Today, its stockpile has grown by an astounding 25%. According to Statista, Facebook has 2.8 billion active users, and more than 90% of them live outside the US. In other words, even if the feds shut down all American accounts, it would only shrink Mark Zuckerberg's empire by less than 10%. And then there's Amazon. Dozens of government outfits, from the Department of Homeland Security to the Smithsonian Institution, all depend on its platform to operate. So, you tell me, who has more leverage, big tech or big government? Until recently, the answer was the latter. But with each passing month, it's getting harder to tell the difference. In fact, a recent Forbes ranking of the 10 most powerful people in the world included not one, but 3 tech leaders: Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Larry Page. This radical shift of power is no longer a prediction. It is already happening. Famed tech investment firm ARK Invest reports stablecoins have outpaced the US dollar and Bitcoin in pairs trades globally. And since January 1st, 2021, the size of this new market has more than tripled. And the Bank of England just released a plan that assumes 20% of all bank deposits will flood into stablecoins. In other words, you have a rare opportunity to act now before trillions of dollars rush into this new form of cash. I can't pin it down to an exact date, but Facebook's new stablecoin, DM, is just moments away from rolling out. All told, Mark Zuckerberg plans to release a few variants pegged to major global currencies, plus another link to a basket of currencies from the euro to the pound to the dollar. To get the job done, he's partnered with a California firm, Silvergate Bank, which will issue Facebook's dollar-pegged digital currency this year. And Facebook isn't the only tech giant with big plans for its own currency. Yahoo Finance reports Amazon's grip on the internet economy appears to be coming for currency next, with the e-commerce giant preparing to launch a digital currency project. And they had better hurry. Popular crypto exchange Coinbase has partnered with Visa on its own stablecoin known as USD Coin. And CNBC reports Apple just posted a job listing for someone familiar with alternative payments and experience working with cryptocurrency. Could the king of tech launch its own Apple coin? I wouldn't bet against it. And this is only the start of a massive change I expect to play out in the months ahead. The best part is, whether one of these new stablecoins emerges as king or none of them, it doesn't matter. You heard that right. No matter who wins this matchup, big tech or big government, it will trigger a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for investors who are paying attention. Ever since Facebook announced its DM currency, the mainstream press has been largely silent. The only reason it popped on my radar is because of my high-level Silicon Valley connections. Connections I've forged over 2 decades of working with the nation's top entrepreneurs and visionaries. You see, whenever a new radical tech breakthrough appears on the horizon, no matter how secret, I'm one of the few to hear about it first. I was one of the first to learn about self-driving cars, inspecting one at NASA's famed Ames Research Facility way back in 2011. The semiconductor play I recommended after that visit, NVIDIA, was the best performing stock on the market in 2016, going up over 3,000% since then. I was one of the first to cover gene editing therapies and recommend exciting companies in this space months before they made headlines in the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, and Wired magazine. The small company I recommended went up over 300% in just 16 months. And I was invested in cryptocurrencies long before people even heard of Bitcoin. I recommended Bitcoin back in 2015 at $240. Today, it's trading for more than $30,000. But in the weeks ahead, as global tech giants launch their new stablecoins, this new financial technology might have a greater impact than any of those innovations combined. And if history is a guide, these changes will come fast and furious. It could happen within a matter of weeks with very little warning. Even the Federal Reserve has admitted this new form of money could become systemically crucial overnight. But please, whatever you do, don't just load up on Google Apple or Amazon stock or any of the new coins they issued for that matter. Remember, stablecoins are literally designed to go nowhere. The key to making money from this massive shift is understanding the system behind it. Now, it's easy to see why big tech firms are eager to launch their own currencies. There are huge profits to be made in disrupting the world of money. Take an example we're all familiar with, credit card companies. According to LendingTree.com, they earn well over $100 billion in fees and interest income year after year. Incredible. And investors who've bought their shares have made a fortune. Discover Financial shares are up 303%. Visa has jumped 1,400%. MasterCard surged an incredible 7,895%. And companies providing tech that allows credit cards to work have also seen their shares skyrocketed. The firm I worked with, NXP Semiconductors, has climbed 1,667%. And more recently, we've seen the rise of so-called fintech companies like PayPal and Square. And investors who saw this shift coming and took action had a chance to make a fortune. PayPal has gained a stunning 715%, while Square, since its IPO in 2016, is up an incredible 1,713%. Now, of course, these lofty returns don't guarantee future results, and it goes without saying all investments do carry risk. But when the risk-reward setup is this lopsided, it's hard not to pay attention. A new financial ecosystem is springing to life, driven in a large part by Facebook, Google, Amazon, and other tech companies. And while it's hard to say which of these tech firms will emerge on top, there is a much, much better way to play this shift with much greater upside than Amazon, Google, or Facebook shares. We are about to witness a huge shift in the financial system. At the same time, world governments and central banks are racing ahead with plans for their own stablecoins or central bank digital currencies. But no matter who comes out on top, big tech or big government, the financial system as we know it is going to change in a big, big way. I expect to see major fireworks in the weeks ahead, which is why it's critical that you take action now. The Economist calls this the next big thing, and Fortune says it will change the world. Mark Andreessen, co-creator of the world's first web browser, even went so far as to say the most important innovation since the internet itself. What's the best way to profit from this megatrend? Well, you see, most of the new competing currencies, including one being raced to completion by the US government, have one thing in common. They are only possible thanks to blockchain technology. Now, you've probably heard about blockchain quite a bit over the past few years. And if you're like most people, it might seem hard to understand, but it's simple. Blockchain is the foundation of all cryptocurrencies. It's the reason why they work and the reason why they are decentralized and secure. The key to this technology is it makes it possible for technology firms to mint new currencies. Now, of course, most cryptocurrencies are speculative and will head to zero, but stablecoins are different because they're designed to track existing world assets, which is exactly what companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple are doing now. And its potential reach goes far beyond finance. Blockchain technology is already disrupting dozens of old world businesses and practices, from banking to real estate to cybersecurity and healthcare to the way investors take an early stake in startup companies. That's why 90% of the top decision makers at tech companies across America are working on a digital transformation, and why Data Corporation predicts global blockchain spending will account for almost $6.6 billion this year, which is a 340% increase from 2018. In recent months, the floodgates have opened. IBM partnered with Maersk, the cargo giant. The joint venture is testing blockchain technology for the global shipping industry, which transports more than $4 trillion of products a year. JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are using blockchain technology to track $2.8 trillion worth of securities. MasterCard uses blockchain in its global payment network That's $1.35 trillion in transactions a year. And Visa is doing the same. In fact, credit card companies and big banks are aggressively hiring blockchain engineers. Even cross-border money transfer company MoneyGram has decided to use blockchain technology for its entire global money transfer business. It all adds up to one of the greatest profit opportunities of the 21st century. Bigger than the dot-com boom, bigger than Bitcoin, bigger than the cannabis boom we've seen in recent years combined. And investors who realize what's happening and take action today could make a fortune. To repeat, the technology that underpins our financial system is about to change forever. A new wave of currencies created by corporations like Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple will soon emerge, any one of which will circulate right alongside the dollar. But you don't need to worry about Facebook's Diem or Google Coin or Amazon Coin to profit. Again, the key is to focus on the technology behind it. And to that end, I've identified 3 ways to play this massive shift with far more upside. In a minute, I'll show you 3 ways to clean up as this explosive trend gathers steam and blockchain technology takes over. But please, whatever you do, don't sit on this knowledge. Time is of the essence. We're not talking about a change that will take place in 5 or 10 years. Radical changes are taking place as we speak. In fact, it is already happening. Have you recently bought any chicken milk or mangoes at Walmart? If you did, congratulations. You've been using blockchain technology without even realizing it. You see, Walmart invested $25 million into this technology to build a faster, cheaper, and safer way to track its grocery sales. Right now, it has over 1 million items on a blockchain. Yes, including chicken, mangoes, pork, berries, and much more. Now imagine if there's something wrong with the food you buy. With blockchain technology, Walmart can trace its origin and remove it from shelves in a matter of seconds instead of weeks. Want another example? Airlines and airports. It turns out one of the biggest pain points in air travel is having conflicting flight information at gates on airport monitors and airline websites. Switching to blockchain technology makes it a breeze for airports to maintain correct flight data at all times. And this trend is only getting started. We're seeing assets start to become digitized, says Jay Biancamano, State Street's head of digital assets and blockchain in capital markets. Trickle, 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 and then we believe there will be a flood of money that could make some investors rich beyond their wildest dreams. What I've shown you today is merely the beginning. Colorado recently passed Senate Bill 086, which authorizes blockchain technology to secure private data from cyber attacks and reduce paper records. A company called Everledger is revolutionizing the $13 billion a year diamond industry by creating a blockchain-based registry of every certified diamond in the world. 2.2 million diamonds are already in the registry. Miami plans to be the world's crypto capital. Mayor Suarez has already set up a plan for city workers to receive salaries in Bitcoin. And would you believe me when I say that nobody is more excited about blockchain technology than the big banks on Wall Street? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, basically all of them. While elite bankers might not like cryptocurrencies, JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon went as far as trashing Bitcoin as a fraud at one point. They are in love with the technology that runs it, blockchain. In fact, JP Morgan has joined the stablecoin race with its own currency, JPM Coin, which it's using to instantly settle payments between clients. The way it works now, banks have to set aside a big chunk of capital while they wait for transactions to settle. That is in case the settlement fails. The problem is, this waiting can take days or even weeks, which means all of that capital is just frozen there, doing nothing. Switching to blockchain shrinks the settlement time from weeks down to minutes, and more importantly, it frees up billions of dollars for the banks to deploy immediately. But we're still only scratching the surface. There are so many more use cases and new companies adopting blockchain every day. It's incredible. And here is why it's important we pay attention. When Facebook, Amazon, and Google make their next big move, blockchain stocks will shoot into orbit, and the gains could be tremendous. I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 to 1, 10 to 1, and in a few rare cases, 50 to 1 upside over time. Of course, not every gain will be that big, but I wouldn't bet against it. And if you want to see the best chance at massive gains on this trend, it is important you make the right moves right away. My advice to you is don't just own Bitcoin or Ethereum or any stablecoin for that matter. It's true, cryptocurrencies have made some investors a fortune. $500 invested in them in 2016 grew to be worth more than $33 million at the peak. But the real game changer is the technology behind them, blockchain technology. So, if you missed out on the furious rise in crypto, you're in luck, because now you have a second chance to make a fortune as the whole world wakes up to the technology behind them. Recently, I uncovered 3 blockchain stocks that are flying under the radar, but they won't be for long. Over 100 million Amazon Prime members are ready to start using an Amazon coin right away. Billions of Facebook members around the world will be able to transact in Facebook's stablecoin, DM, and countless more could soon be exposed to private currencies from Apple to Google and beyond. It all adds up to a potential market more than 30 times bigger than Bitcoin. But unfortunately, most people are going to miss out. Who would think it's possible to make money on an asset that's designed to be stable, to essentially go nowhere? Well, now that you understand what's powering this technology, you know far more than the average investor. The only thing left to do is take action. To help you get started, I put this valuable information inside a comprehensive report that I call How to Profit from the Private Money Revolution. I want to rush this report to you free of charge today. You see, Amazon, Facebook, and Google could announce their crypto move any day. And when they do, these blockchain stocks are going to move up quickly. So you want to get in position to profit right away. The amount of money at stake will shock you. Soon it will feel like we're in the internet boom once again, only much bigger. Now, to give you an idea, if you had invested $1,000 in Amazon when it went public 24 years ago, it would now be worth over $1.7 million. While a $1,000 investment in Bitcoin at its inception would today be worth over $375 million. Just imagine what will happen when you combine a powerful tech leader like Facebook, Google, or Amazon and the technology behind the world's #1 cryptocurrency. We have never seen anything quite like it. That's why what we're looking at today is so much bigger. Blockchain has the potential to disrupt just about every major industry, from banking at $134 trillion to real estate, $217 trillion, insurance, $4.5 trillion, to healthcare, $8.7 trillion. Altogether, more than $400 trillion in different segments of the market will be forever changed. And for investors who make the right moves today, it could lead to a once-in-a-lifetime chance to build extraordinary wealth in an extraordinarily short period of time. That's why I created a comprehensive report packed with the essential information you need to profit from this situation. It's called How to Profit from the Private Money Revolution. I've used my decades of experience to pick apart everything about these companies. I've pored through their balance sheets, I've met with the executive staff in many cases, I've visited suppliers and done my own research on future earnings. Basically, I vet these companies the same rigorous way I would when I make an investment in a tech startup, all to bring you the most up-to-date research you could possibly find on blockchain technology and how to profit from the new private currency set to launch in the weeks ahead. The amount of money at stake, it's breathtaking. That's why I'd like to send you my exclusive research absolutely free. I'll tell you how to claim your copy in a moment, but first, I want to be very clear. While I do believe blockchain stocks are one of the best places to put your money, it's not the only way to profit from this situation. There are still huge gains to be made on select cryptocurrencies. This wave of new private currencies, from Facebook's DM to Google Coin and Amazon Coin, will bring new attention to cryptos and cause millions of new investors to pile in. It will cause some coins to surge far more than Bitcoin. But if you're going to speculate in this corner of the market, you really have to know what you're doing. If you've never done this before, it can seem a bit complex, difficult, and somewhat risky. However, I've found an alternative that is so easy to set up, you could be up and running in minutes. In fact, this is the #1 way I tell my own friends and family to invest in cryptos and move a portion of their savings out of the banking system. You don't have to create a wallet and you don't have to buy coins yourself. You don't even have to use a computer if you don't want to. What's the best part? It works just like an IRA. You get all the tax benefits that come with it, but there's one huge difference. The gains from this special type of IRA can be astronomical. Again, I can't promise you'll make money this year or next, but the long-term trend in cryptocurrencies is up. It's way up. And if that continues, as I suspect, this unique investment vehicle will be the smartest way to hold them in the months ahead. It's what I call the world's most safe and trusted crypto IRA account. This is a perfectly legal investment tool approved by the IRS. It is a real IRA with the tax advantages. But instead of stocks or bonds, this IRA holds cryptos. It's the best way to grow your retirement nest egg and become substantially richer during this next big crypto boom, which is now underway. The best part is, you don't need to wire any money, set up a wallet, or remember complicated passwords. You don't need any technical know-how to use the cryptocurrency IRA. You actually don't even need to own a computer. You can get all the benefits of owning cryptos without the hassle. In fact, it only takes one phone call to get started. To give you an idea, a modest sum of $20,000 put into this special IRA account 5 years ago would have grown into $1.46 million of tax-free money. And that's because this special IRA account offers the best of both worlds. You get the upside of explosive gains from cryptos and the peace of mind knowing that your money grows tax-free. You're unlikely to hear about it anywhere else, but if you're interested, it's important you act sooner rather than later. This is one of those rare moments in investing when you can have your cake and eat it too. Look, despite the volatility we've seen in the crypto market, cryptocurrencies still have massive upside potential, even bigger than what we've seen so far. It remains the only asset class in the world where just a small stake of $1,000, even $500, could pile up into a multi-million-dollar fortune. Which brings me to another opportunity I'm excited to share with you. There are 3 coins that I recommend every investor should have in their special IRA basket. But if you're going to make a move, you'd better hurry. According to Brian Armstrong, co-founder and CEO of Coinbase, whether institutions were going to adopt crypto or not was an open question. But now, Coinbase reports 8,000 institutions have invested a whopping $122 billion on the exchange. In other words, a massive amount of money is rushing into the crypto world. So the sooner you can establish a position, the better. The recent pullback is offering investors a chance to get in at a much better price. That's why I've gathered all the details about this special IRA and the coins you should hold in 2 complimentary research reports, Secrets of the Cryptocurrency IRA and The Perfect Crypto Portfolio to Multiply Your Retirement Funds by More Than 1,000%. Inside, I'll walk you through everything you need to know to open up your own cryptocurrency IRA, tell you exactly which coins to pick and how much you should allocate to each of them. Everything is laid out in simple terms, step by step, so you can set yourself up to turn a small amount of cash into a massive war chest for retirement. Even better, this firm has offered to let my readers in at a lower minimum requirement than anyone else. I've met with a management team, inspected their process, and found it's the best way to line up massive crypto gains inside a government-approved IRA. And I want to point out, I don't receive any money if you sign up or use them. That said, I highly suggest you take a closer look. All you have to do is mention my name when you set up your cryptocurrency IRA and you're ready to go. You can get these 2 reports today free of charge, along with my other valuable investment report, How to Profit from the Private Money Revolution, all without risking a penny. This could be the most transformative opportunity we'll see again for many years to come. And that's why I'm inviting you to take a risk-free subscription to my monthly research letter, The Near Future Report. Inside, you'll find real-time updates on all the plays I mentioned so far, the 3 blockchain companies, the cryptocurrency IRA, and each month, I'll share new insights into groundbreaking trends that can multiply your money. From the new wave of 5G wireless technology and artificial intelligence to precision medicine and breakthroughs like the self-driving car. Why do I focus so strongly on technology? Well, a lot of regular investors avoid the tech sector. The conventional wisdom says you have to see 20 years into the future and then wait that long before you make a profit. But the truth is, you don't have to wait to profit on cutting-edge technology. If you get in right before the breakthroughs hit the market, you can make a fortune. How do you do that? Well, quite frankly, it helps to know someone like me that operates inside Silicon Valley's bubble, because I see and hear about breakthrough technologies months before they make the headlines. If you time your investments properly, it will make all the difference. Like anyone who followed my NVIDIA recommendation and saw gains of 3,300% and counting. That's what's possible when you're early and right, when you can see the near future and take action. I spent a large chunk of my career living and working in Japan. I'm a practitioner of an ancient martial art called Shotokan Karate. It's one of the 4 traditional forms of karate originally practiced in Okinawa. It requires discipline and focus, concentration developed over years of experience. In fact, when I found a teacher I knew could take me to the next level, I threw away all of my old training and started over again, right from the ground up. And within a few years, I earned my first black belt. I also picked up an ancient Japanese proverb during my time there, and it's one that sums up my investment philosophy. It's phonetically translated as Mikasaki Shireba Choja. Roughly, in English, it means if you can see 3 days into the future, you'll become rich. In other words, you don't have to know what's going to happen miles down the road to get rich on technology stocks. You only need to know what's coming right around the corner. And that's why I call my research service the Near Future Report. I'm not going to lecture you on technologies that are years away. I'll show you how to make money on technology and biotechnology stocks right now. From my position as an angel investor and advisor to Silicon Valley startups, I learn about rapid advances in technology long before the rest of the world, and I can spot the signals of mass consumption on the horizon. In the Near Future Report, I'll take you behind the curtain and show you technologies on the verge of immediate adoption like self-driving cars. You won't hear about these technologies ahead of time on TV or from your stockbroker. And to be blunt, most of the technology advice out there is garbage. In the Near Future Report, you'll reap the rewards of my 30-plus years of experience working on breakthrough technologies and advising tech executives in Silicon Valley and Asia. I have a track record of success identifying stocks on the verge of a huge run-up. Now I'm going to share that research with you in the Near Future Report. If you choose to accept my offer and become a subscriber today, you'll get these 3 valuable research reports right away. My compliments. How to profit from the private money revolution. When Facebook, Amazon, and Google make their next big coin announcement, the 3 stocks I tell you about in this report will positively skyrocket. Because like I mentioned, blockchain technology will be at the heart of this new revolution in private money. Secrets of the cryptocurrency IRA. Now that we're past the brutal sell-off known as the crypto winter, cryptocurrencies are once again on the rise. But until recently, it was difficult for regular folks to cash in. But not anymore. In this special report, I'll tell you about a new and exciting way to get fast gains from cryptocurrencies without the risk and hassle that come with it. It's the best of both worlds. It's a regular, tax-deferred IRA account with the profit potential of cryptos. In this report, I show you everything you need to know to stash away your tax-free fortune with cryptocurrencies. And the perfect crypto portfolio to multiply your retirement funds by more than 1,000%. Now, it's crucial that you understand how to split your cryptocurrency IRA allocation to properly grab the most profits in 2021 and beyond. And that's why I put together a winning combination of 3 cryptos and what percentage you should own of each, all inside this easy-to-follow guide. But that's not all. Every month, I'll also send you a new issue of the Near Future Report, quite simply the best research report on the face of the planet, with a new recommendation on how to make the most gains from the tech market. And you'll also get exclusive members-only email alerts with the buy and sell recommendations, stop losses, buy up to prices, and so on. All the back issues of the Near Future Report, plus my full archive of special reports, including Investing in the Self-Driving Car Revolution, The Future is Now, and my #1 gene therapy stock. And perhaps the most powerful new technology spreading across America today, 5G. I've put together a private report called The Future of 5G Profits. If you get in right before this breakthrough hits the market, you can make a fortune. And full access to the Near Future Report portfolio. Best of all, I'll give you 60 days to try this service risk-free. Take all the time you need, have a look around, and see what you think of it. You can even put a little money into my recommendations and test them out. And if, for any reason, you're not satisfied with the Near Future Report, you can cancel the service anytime for a full refund and still keep all the reports you get today. So how much is this going to cost you? Probably a lot less than you think. And there's one more bonus I'd like to throw in as well. Not long ago, I took part in a postgraduate business program at Yale University School of Management. And I gave a talk to a private group just off campus about a transformative new technology called 5G. Despite the fact that many people own a 5G phone today, we have barely scratched the surface of this new technology's potential. Now, you may be wondering, is 5G really going to be a big deal? After all, we've had 3G and 4G, incremental improvements in the quality and speed of our internet. And much of the country still doesn't have blazing fast 5G coverage. But here's the thing, 5G is in the middle of a massive rollout. And when it's through, it won't be just a small step like what we saw with 3G to 4G. 5G will be a giant leap forward. And for many people, it will feel like the first time they ever use the internet. In other words, it's not evolutionary, it's revolutionary. And 5G stocks are already making investors rich. Take the case of PowerStorm Holdings. Just on the anticipation of 5G speeds helping their network solutions business, shares went up 2,890%. And Somerset Transition Corp's whole business plan relies on the increased speeds of 5G. Shares went up 4,900% in just 7 months. But that is just the beginning. Most people are focused on Apple and Samsung, which are moving millions of new 5G phones. But if you simply buy Apple and Samsung stock, you'll miss out on the biggest gains. Because as 5G networks continue to spread across the country, the shares of a few select companies are going to soar through the roof. And that's why I put together another special report. It's called my #1 Pure 5G Play. Inside, you'll discover my #1 5G stock for 2021. And in addition to everything I've mentioned today, it is yours to enjoy free. Now, clients have paid me tens of thousands of dollars for this kind of advice, but through this special offer, you won't pay anywhere near as much. You see, I created the Near Future Report to help people like you make sense of the stock market, and nothing makes my day like reading messages from my happy subscribers. Like John Jay, who wrote to say, "Thank you. I have just purchased the Near Future Report. I spent Sunday getting the education of a lifetime on cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. That was probably worth the money I plunked down in itself. I shall consider my purchase of your newsletter money well spent." And Stanley P., who wrote, "Your passion and knowledge of the technology sector is quite obvious from your research. I really enjoy reading and learning from you about this sector and about your recommendations." Or Jason V., who said, Just wanted to thank you for all your hard work and great newsletters. I find you have the best insight of any subscription I've had. Now I just focus on your recommendations and emails. Similarly, Steve T. wrote, I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate the near future reports. I find Jeff's observations very interesting and his analysis very succinct. As a subscriber from Down Under, I rely on Jeff's intimate understanding of the U.S. investing landscape. Well worth the subscription. Keep up the good work, Jeff. I will, Steve. And Phil H. commented, as a 78-year-old non-techie, it allows me a perspective on technology and life that I could not gain otherwise. I have loved all Jeff Brown's write-ups for the same reasons, as well as for the investment opportunities and to amaze my friends with knowledge far beyond their ken. Thank you and keep it up. Now, for $199, you can get your hands on the most comprehensive tech investment research for a full year. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to tech investment advice, there is nothing like the Near Future Report out there at any price to my knowledge. And I want to make sure you don't miss out on the opportunities I've shared with you today. So here's what I'd like to do. When you give my service a try today, I'll give you 60 days to try it out 100% risk-free. In other words, if you changed your mind, simply call our customer service team. They'll give you a full refund, no problem. Not only that, instead of the usual $199 a year, I'll get you in at the heavily discounted price of just $49 for 1 year. That's a 75% savings off the regular annual rate. But only if I hear from you right away. Here's what you get when you subscribe today. 12 monthly issues of the Near Future Report with all the back issues included free. Exclusive members-only email alerts. Bonus number 1, special report, How to Profit from the Private Money Revolution. Bonus number 2, special report, Secrets of the Cryptocurrency IRA. Bonus number 3, special report, The Perfect Crypto Portfolio to Multiply Your Retirement Funds by More Than 1,000%. Bonus number 4, special report, My #1 Pure 5G Play. Look, Amazon, Facebook, and Google could announce their next cryptocurrency move any day. It could happen tomorrow, it could happen next week, or it could happen in the next 3 months. But my research indicates it will happen this year. And when it does, the 3 blockchain stocks I found will shoot through the roof. I urge you, whatever you do, please don't let this opportunity pass you by. Please take advantage of my 60-day risk-free offer. Have a look at my recommendations right now and then decide for yourself if this is something you want to get into or not. But please don't delay. There isn't much time to waste, and if you wait too long, you could miss out on one of the biggest tech stories of the decade. It could be years before we see another opportunity like this. Please click the button below and sign up for the Near Future Report today.